Modern metal detectors all have a very similar set of features, but a lot of them carry different references, but they all correlate to being the same function. So let's just have a talk about these features. We're going to be comparing three machines, the XP Deus 2, the Minelab Manticore and the Minelab Equinox 900. So let's get started. The XP Deus 2 uses a feature called reactivity. The Manticore uses recovery speed, and so does the Equinox 900. So the reactivity and recovery speed are exactly the same function. They make the machine run slower or faster depending on how much trash is in the ground. There's lots of information about reactivity and recovery speeds. Modulation. Now this tells you how big or small a target is based on the audio intensity. It could also tell you how deep or shallow a target is. So on the XP Deus it's called audio response, and on the Manticore we have audio themes. You've got simple, medium and rich. Now simple is equivalent to the reactivity being quite high, so shallow or deep targets tend to have the same audio intensity, whereas medium gives a little bit more modulation, rich gives maximum modulation. Very similar to the reactivity being 1 or 2 perhaps. Going on to the Equinox 900, we don't really have that feature, so everything's set around the medium setting if it's compared to the Manticore. Now we've talked about hearing depth. What about seeing depth in the terms of a depth meter? Well, the XP Deus 2 has got a horseshoe. Now this greys out depending on how strong the target is. So if it only greys out a little bit, that's a deep target, and the same applies with an XY screen. If you only get a little bit of the XY screen moving, it's a small or deep target. If it all moves, then it's a shallow or a big target. So let's go on to the Manticore. What have we got there? Well, we've got two prongs of attack as well. We've got the depth meter, which greys out along the side of the meter, and we've also got the target ID, the little dot in the center. Now if the dot becomes very opaque, that means it's a deep or small target. If it's very contrasty, it's a shallow or a big target. And the Equinox 900 has a depth indicator, the same as the Manticore. Frequencies. Now with these multi-frequency machines, we can choose what frequency ranges we want. For example, let's start off with the XP Deus 2. You've got a maximum working frequency, so you can select what frequency you want to work at, what band you want to choose, whether it be low for the bigger, deeper targets or high for the smaller targets. With the Manticore, we've got different search profiles. We've got all-terrain general, which is an average frequency range, all-terrain low conductors, which is a higher frequency range, and all-terrain high conductors, which is a lower frequency range. So you've got those features within the Manticore. They've just named a little bit differently. And with the Equinox 900, we've got Park 1, Park 2, Field 1, Field 2. So Park 1 and Field 1 both use a middle to low working frequency. Park 2, Field 2 use a higher working frequency, so we can choose our frequency bands by selecting those search modes as well. Audio sounds. Now there's just a couple I want to address here. You've got the pitch mode on the XP Deus, which is a VCO. A lot of you are familiar with that. But if we go on to the Manticore, it's called the depth mode. Once again, a VCO, and it's a pitch audio. Now if we go on to the Equinox 900, we've got an audio called DP audio, which is again the VCO, the same as the pitch and the depth mode. So we've got all three types of audio in all three machines there, just named differently. Still on the tone theme, what about multi-tones? A lot of you are familiar with full tones on the XP Deus 1 and Deus 2, but we've got that on the Manticore. It's called one tone all regions. Now that's a sliding scale, exactly the same. That's a full tone, and also the Equinox 900, and it's called all tones. So we've got that full tone feature in all three machines. Still kind of on the tone themes, what about the ferrous tone, the sound from the iron? On the Deus you've got an iron volume, so that turns up the iron volume up and down, but on the Manticore you've got ferrous volume. Makes sense as well, and that's the same as well on the Equinox 900. ferrous volume. So what about iron filters? Yep, we've got iron filters on all three machines. On the Deus 1 and 2 it's called silencer, and on the Manticore it's called the stabilizer, and on the Equinox 900 it's called the iron bias or the FE filter. They all do exactly the same job. We've got a video coming up, or I may have even released a video with a Manticore stabilizer. Check out the channel. Still on the rejection side of things, what about bottle cap reject for you guys searching over in the States? I know bottle caps are a really big problem. So on the XP Deus 2 you've got BCR, bottle cap reject, which is its own individual filter. And on the Manticore you adjust the ferrous limits by dropping the bar down or raising the bar up. That's the lower ferrous limits. And on the Equinox 900 you're back to that iron bias, that FE filter. Higher levels will reject bottle caps. Steel bottle caps, that is, not aluminium ones. Well, that's it. I hope you can now see the correlation between different names and the same features, and that'll make your transition from one machine to another a lot easier. Well, if this video's brought you any value or entertainment, why not like, subscribe, and I'll be honoured if you can make a little comment, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.